Here are some of the stories in this week's show.
A look at the 5th National Veterans Summer Sports Clinic in San Diego.
An all-women's team is formed for the first time at the Summer Sports Games.
And more on the celebration of Olympians and Paralympians at the White House.
Those stories and more right after this.
Hello, I'm Basil White with the Office of Policy and Planning.
And I'm Carly Avert with the VHA Office of Communications. Thanks for joining us today. VA hosted the 5th National Veteran Summer Sports Clinic in beautiful San Diego the week of September 16th. The summer-ending clinic promotes rehabilitation of body and spirit for veterans with significant physical or psychological injuries within the past 6 years. Here's the story from Jill Atwood, the Public Affairs Director at the Medical Center in Salt Lake City, who worked at the sports clinic this year.
More than 100 veterans soaked up the sun and the sand, some experiencing the adaptive sports world for the very first time. It was amazing to see. Now the hope is that they will take this experience home and continue to challenge themselves year-round.
This week, we're going to push you past your limits. We're going to take you out of that comfort zone that you've been in. And we're going to make sure that you're supported and challenged as you go through this week.
Welcome to San Diego.
Sponsored by the Veterans Canteen Service and hosted by VA San Diego Healthcare System, the clinic gave veterans a chance to participate in several sports at various locations around San Diego. They were hanging 10 all week at La Jolla Shores Beach, where it was surf's up.
There are no words to describe when you're riding those waves. It's freedom, total freedom.
The flat water at the Mission Bay Yacht Club provided the perfect venue for kayaking. Challenged America introduced participants to sailing, a time-honored tradition. And the U.S. Olympic Training Center gave veterans a chance to participate in track and field events at the training site for some of America's top athletes.
I enjoy being here to look for new talent. You know, as a Paralympian now, a two-time Paralympian, I came from these programs and we're proof that they can go to the next level if they really wanted to.
This year's clinic has come to a close and participants are headed home, taking with them the memories of the week and lessons for the future. For the Department of Veterans Affairs.
One of the highlights of this year's Summer Sports Clinic was the formation of an all-woman team. Clinic participants are on teams, and the creation of an all-women's team called Mercury heightened the competitive juices, particularly for the members of Mercury. Jill Atwood wrote this article for Vantage Point, the VA's blog at the address on the screen. Check it out and check out photos of the Mercury ladies and other teams on the VA Flickr page.
We couldn't let the 2012 Paralympics and Olympics go until we shared this next video from the White House, where the President and First Lady greeted more than 800 on the South Lawn.
The video featured Olympians and Paralympians alike, including VA's own Olympian, bronze medalist Natalie Dell of the Bedford, Massachusetts VA Medical Center.
Here at the White House today, a special day for the Olympians. You know, during the Olympics, we're always in and out, and we're always on different schedules, but today we're all here as one, and that's kind of how the Olympic team always is. You know, we're one, we're a team, we're a part of the best country in the world, and this is the best place to be.
It is great to have Team USA here at the White House. One of the great things about watching our Olympics is we are a portrait of what this country is all about. People from every walk of life, every background, every race, every faith. It sends a message to the world about what makes America special. And it's even more impressive when you think about the obstacles that many of you have had to overcome, not just to succeed at the Games, but to get there in the first place.
I'm originally from Nigeria. I got my citizenship and I'm competing for the greatest nation here on earth, and I'm so privileged. And being at the White House today to meet with the president is a dream come true. And it proves so much that in America, when you work hard, dedication, you're going to achieve the American dream. And this is what I'm living right now.
In reality, we spend 4 years, some of us 8 years, working for these 2 months. Not only am I an Olympian, but I'm also a federal employee. I work for the Department of the Veterans Affairs, and the Olympian in me is just so proud to be here. The federal employee in me is just like through the roof.
This summer, people across the country, including some of the young people with us today, watched you compete and thought to themselves, you know what? If they can set a goal and work hard to reach it, maybe I can too. And maybe I can go a little farther and do a little better than people think I can.
I have a motto: if you believe, you can achieve. And if you want anything in life, if you believe in it hard enough, you can achieve those goals like we have. So, we are just role models for the young kids growing up in the future.
There is no limit to how far we can go. That's what sets all of you apart. That's what sets America apart. We celebrate individual effort, but we also know that together we can do incredible things that we couldn't accomplish on our own. So thank you for being such great role models, especially for our young people. You gave us a summer that we will never forget. It is a great honor to welcome you home. We could not be prouder of you.
September was Suicide Prevention Month, and VA and other agencies began a high-priority campaign to let veterans and others know that no one has to fight mental health alone. KGUN-TV 9 on Your Side in Tucson shared with us a two-part report on veterans coming to grips with suicide tendencies and PTSD.
Our bravest men and women give it all in defense of freedom. When they come home, many cannot break free from the thoughts that haunt their minds.
I thought about suicide a couple of times. I thought that was the only way out.
I was not used to not having a plan, a mission set in front of me. I kind of isolated myself in the house. I wasn't going outside. I didn't know what to do.
I mean, it's just, you keep going, keep doing what you got to do.
Richard, Ryan, and Eric fought for our country. Each one has a story. Each one nearly became a statistic. Each one thought about taking their own lives. They are sadly not alone. In fact, the Department of Defense says the suicide rate among veterans is disproportionately high. A June report from the Pentagon shows there have been at least 154 suicides among active duty troops in 2012. That's a rate of nearly one each day. If that rate continues, it would be a record high number of suicides. And while just 1% of Americans have served during the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, former service members represent 20% of suicides in the U.S. Richard's story, retired Navy, 3 tours in Vietnam. A couple of years ago, he lost his vision, ended up at the Southern Arizona VA clinic. That visit, he says, changed his life.
She was asking me questions. Well, the wife piped up over my shoulder and started answering these questions. And I turned around and I jumped all over her for no good reason. And right there, that triage nurse says, you know what? I think you can, we need to get you into this PTSD clinic. I said, what is PTSD?
Watson lived for decades with nightmares, violent episodes, alcoholism, and yes, he thought about ending it all, but never truly understood why.
All those experiences I had back in the Korean War, I did not realize, but they were like stones on the back of on my back. I've been carrying for 60 years. I've been carrying all this dirt with me.
Eric Kemp's story, retired Navy, 20 years, served in Iraq. When thoughts of suicide overcame him, he turned to his religion and the Southern Arizona VA Health Clinic.
How do you think going through the clinic here has helped either improve your life or maybe even in some cases saved your life?
I think it saved my life because it taught me a lot of skills how to deal with my anger, my rage, and try to overcome that kind of thing.
Ryan Schumacher's story, retired Army, 2 tours in Iraq. Despite the Army's mandatory 10-day reintegration program, he felt lost without a mission.
Personally, what's it been like for you?
I was dealing with alcoholism. I had a lot of depression, still do. I did have a lot of suicidal thoughts. I have acted on those one time before. It's been a rough road. You just have to realize that it doesn't take as much strength as people believe to ask for help. Don't just try to suck it up like you normally do in the military and just drive on.
These men share more in common than just having served. They wish the military would do more to screen for PTSD. They would recommend veterans talk with someone about their problems. And they all got the help they needed so they could experience life. sometimes as if for the first time.
Next week, we'll have the second part about a program at the VA Medical Center in Tucson that is drawing veterans from far and wide, many outside Arizona.
Did you know? More than 174,000 women die from smoking-related illnesses each year, and women are the fastest growing subgroup of U.S. veterans. The department has started a new campaign to spread awareness of the health risks of smoking among women veterans. This poster and a number of other links on the VA Women's Health webpage on the screen are designed to help in the cause. Here's a video previously aired on VA's video magazine, The American Veteran.
One of the most effective ways to quit smoking has nothing to do with self-discipline.
I had a stroke when I was 37.
I was getting bad, I couldn't breathe.
I felt that I was having a heart attack and had to go to the emergency room.
A lot of smokers quit the habit simply because they've been given no other choice. Their doctors have told them if they continue to smoke, they'll probably die from some type of cancer, cardiovascular disease, or another health-related problem. Susan Myrie, coordinator of the Nicotine Dependence Service at the VA Medical Center in Cincinnati, Ohio, says there's a reason why people let their smoking habit get so out of hand.
It's very clearly an addiction. And addiction is actually a brain disease. It's an illness where we do what we know is harming us, sometimes even against our own will.
Susan is dedicated to helping veterans quit before their smoking habit becomes life-threatening. Her clients are veterans who want to quit, but just don't know how to go about doing that.
I've been smoking about 15 years, off and on. I've been trying to quit about 7.
What research shows is that about 85% of those who use tobacco do want to quit. And that's why we have our program, is to help them do so not only successfully, but also comfortably.
One thing that's become clear in recent years is that it's extremely difficult to quit smoking on your own.
What we know for those that just go cold turkey, only about 3% are still quit when we catch up to them at the end of a year. If all a person does is use medication that's ordered by the provider, about 7% are still smoke-free at the end of a year. But if they use medication and get some counseling, whether it's in a class, individual, then about 35% are still smoke-free at the end of a year.
Susan uses a variety of methods to help her patients transition into a smoke-free lifestyle. These include education, motivation, and mediation, including smoking patches. But veterans at this VA Medical Center say the most important thing in helping them quit smoking is group support.
First thing I'd say is don't start, but if you have started, get into a group, a support group. I know there are a lot of people that can do it cold turkey, but if it was a serious addiction like mine, you need help.
What we know from research is that people who have quit tobacco use actually have less stress. They don't have an almost constant infusion of nicotine, which is a stimulant drug. They are working on other ways to solve life's problems without resorting to a cigarette, to learn how to manage life's issues with healthy coping strategies.
It gives me great pleasure, and it's an honor to award you a 5-year coin celebrating 5 years smoke-free. Congratulations. We'll give them a hand. All right.
Veterans who've quit the habit with VA's help meet from time to time, simply to offer continuing support to one another. And each of them feels the same way about giving up smoking, that it's the best thing they've ever done.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it without you and the group.
That's our show this week. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carly Averett.
And I'm Basil White. Next week, we'll have a report on VA and Secretary Shinseki at the National Indian Health Board Annual Consumer Conference in Denver. Have a great day and rest of your week.